Hello everyone, Captain Millennium here. Today we are here to make a WWE video today. So the topic of this video is how I would book the split of the New Day. So as of the date of this recording, which is April 3rd, 2019, the New Day is currently still together, and we are coming up on WrestleMania 35? Yeah, 35, which is April 7th, 2019. So the lineup that we have involving the New Day is um, WWE World Champion Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston of the New Day. So if you don't know the storyline that was going on recently on SmackDown, essentially this goes all the way back to Elimination Chamber, where this was an Elimination Chamber match for Daniel Bryan's WWE Championship. So superstar Mustafa Ali was injured, and they replaced Kofi Kingston in that matchup. So within that match, Kofi was really over the whole entire time. Everybody was super excited, and the weeks went on. Kofi, of course, lost the Elimination Chamber match, so Daniel Bryan retained his championship. And there was kind of an outpour from the WWE universe saying that, we want Kofi to be important. And in fact, because of that, fellow New Day members Xavier Woods and Big E were, pushing Kofi Kingston, saying, he is this A player. He needs a shot at the title. He's been in the company a long time. He needs to, be a main player here. So Vince McMahon, of course, puts him through the ringer. All sorts of stuff happens. So anyways, on the most recent, it was 2 episodes of SmackDown ago, so 2 weeks ago, Kofi was on, and, he's begging Vince McMahon, one more chance, give me one more chance to prove myself. So he said, no, Kofi, I'm sorry, you're done. Instead, Xavier Woods and Big E are going to be in a tag team gauntlet match, and if they win, then you will face Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. So they won. So Kofi Kingston now gets to face Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. So anyways, this is how I would book the New Day's split. So the whole thing behind the New Day is the fact that they would never betray each other. Ever. Like, ever betray each other. That was their whole thing. When the Shield broke up, they're like, we're still going on strong. No, we would never betray each other. It's not true. So I personally would like to have this happen. We would have Kofi. Let's see, how do we want to do this? So we'd have Kofi lose at WrestleMania, of course, to Daniel Bryan. So either you could go down the regular route and he could just lose, or my favorite, at the end of the match, it's getting close, nobody's been pinned yet. What happens is Big E and Xavier Woods are obviously out there backing Kofi. When Big E turns heel along with Xavier, and they attack Kofi from behind. So this would leave us with, we would have heel Big E Langston and Xavier Woods versus Kofi Kingston. So I would have a back and forth for a little bit, split them back up for a while so they don't have a storyline with each other. And where the storyline really takes off again is, of course, at Royal Rumble of 2020. So, in every Royal Rumble, Kofi Kingston has his amazing, incredible save. So I would do it like this. When Kofi falls out of the ring to do his incredible save, Big E is either already in the match or he comes out from somewhere, and he and Xavier stop Kofi from saving himself. So they eliminate Kofi Kingston from the Royal Rumble. It screws up the spot that happens every year. So this is where the storyline really takes off. So from there, then you would have all these big Kofi and Big E promos of, we used to be best of friends, but now we're not anymore. Big E betrayed me. And then Big E would retaliate, saying something along the lines of, no, Kofi, you betrayed yourself. You were about to lose that match at WrestleMania. I came in because me and Xavier here are the real stars. So throughout this time, Big E and Xavier Woods would have had this tag team going on between themselves. They'd be dominating the tag division, but Big E would be the one that's really being pushed throughout this entire time. Is Big E Langston? He's the main thing. So finally, after they screw up Kofi's Royal Rumble save, we would be at WrestleMania 2020. So the matchup would be Kofi Kingston versus Big E Langston. And within this match, I'm sure something would happen that Xavier would be barred from ringside. Maybe Xavier got taken out with an injury a while back. Pretty much anything can happen here. So, yes, so it would be Kofi versus Big E. Xavier would be out with an injury or barred from ringside or something. So this is the big payoff that we have here of the New Day splitting. First, we had the Royal Rumble, where Big E and Xavier screwed up Kofi's save. So finally, we have it where peak Kofi Kingston, as most face as possible, fighting Big E Langston for, I would definitely throw a championship in there, like the WWE Championship, like the World Championship. So, a few weeks after WrestleMania 2019, so that's WrestleMania 35, Kofi would win the belt. So this match would be Kofi versus Big E for the belt. Split of the New Day is the reason all for this. So the reason that this match unfolds at WrestleMania is because you want WrestleMania 36 to be a special one. Why? Because it's 2020. It's an interesting year to have this such a big match, and you would definitely want a big marquee. Especially, because Kofi really deserves all this stuff, and so does Big E. And I think it would be such a good payoff for this match and for the New Day to break up. Because, the New Day, if they're not the biggest, they are one of the biggest merch sellers in WWE currently. So to split them up and to have this storyline go on for a whole year, it would have to be a really good storyline, which is why you started off this year at WrestleMania, where Big E would betray them. Or, I think honestly the better solution here would to be you have Kofi Kingston beat Daniel Bryan for the belt at WrestleMania 35, which is the one that's this year in a few days of this recording. So it would be back to Kofi versus Daniel Bryan. Kofi beats Daniel Bryan for the championship. He gets it. And so down at SummerSlam, it would be SummerSlam, that you would have Kofi facing somebody. I don't know. It can be literally anybody in the SmackDown Live locker room. But I can't necessarily say anything because of the superstar shakeup that's going to happen. We don't know where everybody's going to wind up at. So that would be implying that Kofi would be staying on SmackDown all this time, which that would then be able to lead up with Big E betraying Kofi at SummerSlam instead, and then he and Xavier being in the tag team division, dominating it up until WrestleMania 36, in which you would have Kofi Kingston versus Big E Langston. And the winner of the match, it could go either way. If Kofi Kingston were to win, it would make Kofi be completely over with the fans. He probably could not get more over because Big E was the one who betrayed him, and Kofi already went through some crazy stuff. It would be the year prior, so WrestleMania 35, which is this year's WrestleMania. Or if Big E would win, Big E would also be over with the fans because he is showing as to how valuable he is. So he would be backing up what he has been saying to Kofi and the WWE Universe this whole entire time since SummerSlam or WrestleMania 35, depending on which booking decision you would want to make. Is he would be able to beat Kofi Kingston. He would have the WWE Championship. And he would be able to say, I did it. I told you guys this whole entire time. I was the best one in the locker room. I was better than Kofi. Kofi was the weak link. In order for Kofi to get last year's WrestleMania match, he had to use us and Xavier. So we are the dominant ones. So I know that was a pretty short video, but that is how I would book the split of the New Day. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I would just like to say, if you already couldn't see the copyright logo in the corner, all of these characters and materials and stuff like that is all copyright of the WWE. I do not own anything. They all belong to the company and their respective actors and such. But I just want to make this video putting in my take on how I would split them up if I had the chance to split them up, because I think it would be huge for ratings and all sorts of other stuff. And it'd be able to turn 3 superstars, or one big superstar, if you would consider just the New Day a giant superstar, into 2, possibly even 3 bigger superstars. That means if you would push Xavier by himself at some point. But I think that would just be amazing if it were to be that way. So if you guys really like that video, please make sure to click the like button and subscribe to me. And if you want to see more of these videos, like booking decisions, please also make sure to give me a thumbs up and put it in the comments. I have a few other ideas, but I won't necessarily make them unless you guys, the subscribers and the watchers, want to see this happen. So make sure you check out the links in the description below with all my social media info so you can follow me on Twitter. And so yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.